In this video we're going to look at data types and variables in Visual Basic. So in the last video I showed you the basics of a variable, so that's a named piece of memory that allows us to store data that we can change while the program's running. And we looked at strings and I spoke a little bit about integers. Now what you need to know is all the different types that you're going to mainly use. Now there's lots of data types, absolutely tons, but I'm just going to go through the basics that you need to know. So you've got strings, which are simply numbers, letters, symbols or spaces all combined together. So an example of a string would be with speech marks. That would be absolutely fine for a string. Then integers are whole numbers, so 1 or 100. That's an integer that's on the screen. It's not just a whole number, it's not decimal, it's fine. You've got booleans, which are true or false, so they can be true or false, like that. You've got a real, which is a decimal number, but in VB.NET they'll be called single, double and float. But that is a real number, so 1.02 or something. Then you've got a char, which is a simple character, so just the letter A on its own would be a char or a character. So those are our data types. So what we could do is we could have, let's think of a good program to start off with. So how about we have a program that just adds up two numbers. So we're going to have dim number 1. Now when you make a variable, you can't have a space. So if you want to have a space so it looks nice, just put an underscore, then as integer, and I'm going to have dim number 2 as integer. Now what I might do is I might do console.writeLine. The answer is just like that. And then what I could do is I'm going to have it so it just outputs the answer. So number underscore 1 plus number underscore 2. Now what we need to do is we need to put some values in there, because at the minute it's not going to like it, it's just going to output nothing. So I can say number 1 equals 10 and number. Now one good thing about Visual Studio as well is it does autocorrect you, so you can just double click so it saves you typing as fast, and then it's going to be 5. Now just like the last program, we need to have a console.read at the end. If I run that, the answer is 15, so it's added that up for me. It's completed some maths. Now that's one way of doing it. Now one way I like to do it, rather than writing it like this, is I would much rather, so I'd rather have it say something like total, like that, and I would say total equals that, and then I can just make that as another variable. That means if you need to change the maths, say, oh actually I've been doing pluses, I should be doing times in, I can just change it like that. So to add things up, use a plus. To take away, we use the dash. To times, we use the asterisk. And to divide, we use the slash. Now there's a little bit more to it than that. There is quite a few more, so you also, if you want to do the power, so you can use a little arrow up there, so that would do number 1 to the power of number 2. Then if you wanted to maybe do division, but only store an integer, you do the backslash. And if you wanted to do division, but only get the remainder, you can do mod like that, which I'm sure I'll use in the future and I'll be able to explain a bit more. But that is your basic maths. So what you might have to do is you might want to do something, maybe given a task that's quite a bit more complicated than just adding two numbers up. So what if you're calculating the pressure of an object? So the formula for pressure is the force divided by area. So I might change this to say pressure, like that. I'm going to say it's force divided by area, just like I normally would. And I'm going to change this to be force. I'm going to change that to be the area, just like that. Then force and area, and then that could be pressure. So we 10 divided by 5, so it should be 2. So the answer is 2. Nice and easy, nice and simple. Now what if we wanted the user to actually input a value? So instead of being just set as a fixed number from me, so I could say console.writeLine, please enter the force, and I can say force equals console.readline, and then I might do exactly the same thing again and do console.readline again, and then console.writeline, please enter the area, and I can run the program again. I'm going to say the force is 26, and there we go, the answer is 3. Now what you're probably thinking is, hang on a minute, 26 divided by 8 isn't 3, it's 3 point something, and that's because this pressure is an integer. Because it's an integer, how an integer works, if you convert a decimal number to an integer, it basically just ignores and gets rid of everything after the decimal point. If I change this to a float, in fact I'm not sure float, he particularly likes floats, that's more Python, so let's go for a double. Okay, run it again, and then let's do 26 and 8 again. And you see now it's 3.25, it's actually remembered the decimal points. So if you know you're going to get a decimal answer, or to be fair, even if we ran it and was doing the 10 and 5 again, where it's 2, just 2 again. So it's much better. You think you're going to get a decimal number, or you might not get a decimal number, but there's a possibility of getting that decimal, keep it as a double. That's absolutely fine. You can also use single as well. So it's a precision floating point number. I just use double from habit from when I was at university. But that is your basics of using mathematics with variables. Now hopefully that helped and you got a bit more of an understanding of how we use mathematics in variables. Now I'm going to stick a little picture up at the end just of the different formulas and different symbols you can use for your programming. I'll see you in the next video.